everyone. Welcome to week number 845 of this new life that we're living, or Monday, May 4th. I am Dr. Kristen Donnelly with your Good Doctors Diagnose for today. And I would like to briefly talk about Zoom, which is how I'm recording this right now. It is how Dr. Hinson and I have been doing our webinars and our meetings for probably 3 years. Zoom has a big part of our lives before it became part of everyone else's. But what's really interesting to us now is that we're discovering that some of the kind of assumptions that we've always known about Zoom, or the things, the limitations, the emotional limitations we always knew it presented, other people are having to encounter now that they're spending their entire time on Zoom. So the very first thing I want to talk about today is that this is a little note for employers. A in-person meeting is not the same as a Zoom call, and a Zoom call is not the same as an in-person meeting. If you need to have a difficult conversation with one of your employees in these times, you need to be aware that a Zoom call is not an equivalency to a honest conversation around a table. There's a couple reasons for this. One is that how we present ourselves in a meeting and how we present ourselves when we are on camera are different things. When we can see ourselves, like I'm recording this and I can see myself right now, and I'm super aware of the fact that a hair fell out of my braid just as I started recording, and I'm really nervous that you guys are going to maybe stop watching because I'm not quite as put together, and I'm aware of what's happening in the back of my screen, and oh my gosh, what if the reflection of my glasses is really distracting, and I'm thinking of all of this while I'm trying to talk to you. Those are not necessarily the thoughts I'd be having if you and I were sitting around the same table. So, but I am in a way performing for you right now. Zoom is a stage. It is not an intimate conversation. It feels that way because it is a one-on-one perhaps. It also feels that way because for a lot of you, Zoom is now you have now Zoomed people into your personal spaces, like your bedrooms or your living room. This is still my office. Dr. Hinson and I are both still working from the spaces we normally work from. That's not true for a lot of people right now. Additionally, we kind of have this international understanding of being on screen or performing for people through social media these days. We kind of know what selfies mean. We know that, like, yeah, there's a lot of people that don't take 400 selfies for the best one, and we can kind of make fun of duck face girls and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think we investigate quite enough the fact that any time that you are presenting yourself to somebody, you're performing a little bit, and you're performing through screen significantly more than you perform in person. It's just part of our psyche. So for employers, like I said, if you need to have a difficult conversation right now, my biggest tip is to remember that Zoom isn't really the way to do it. I respect that you probably have to because you don't have another option. But what I would do is acknowledge that with your employees and give them the option of a phone call and not a video chat. They may prefer to be able to gather their face or to do it in their pajamas and not have to worry about what they look like to you when they're having this conversation. I understand that's not a luxury that you'd afford them if you were in an office. But again, the emotions of being in an office and the emotions of working from home are different. We've provided some resources on that already, and we'll continue to do so as we, as a planet, craft new understandings of workplaces. Abby Research is committed to helping you guys figure that out right alongside with you. So again, to recap, if you need to have either a disciplinary or a hard conversation with your employees, offer to do it over the audio phone and not a video chat, because a video chat is not actually as intimate potentially or as face-to-face as you think it is because of all these other dynamics. Some meetings can still take place over emails, we promise. Some meetings can take place over conference calls, we promise. Because we all now maybe have the ability to video conference does not mean that we have to every single interaction. Dr. Hinson and I have actually found ourselves more frequently calling each other than hopping on Zoom these days because we're a little tired of performing. It's exhausting being on all the time. Professional performers aren't either. So if you're somebody who's spending your entire day on video calls right now, that's what you're doing. You're on stage for 8 hours, and that's really hard. So figure out ways to break it up. That's it for me for May 4th. Of the Good Doctors Diagnose. We'll see you again on Wednesday with some more pop culture business insights. Bye.